Welcome to Burning Bright, a weekly podcast presenting poetry and prose from Passager. It's mid-December, Thanksgiving's past, and it's almost time for the solstice and Christmas and Kwanzaa and Hanukkah. And it's time to remember the trees. In most of the country, the leaves have fallen, and the deciduous trees are mere skeletons of their former selves. And speaking of trees, December 6th was Joyce Kilmer's birthday. In addition to being a rest stop on the New Jersey Turnpike, Kilmer was a poet. Many of his poems were about beauty in nature and values and subjects that were shaped by his strong Catholic beliefs. His most famous poem, of course, Trees. I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth's sweet-flowing breast. A tree that looks at God all day and lifts her leafy arms to pray. A tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair, upon whose bosom snow has lain, who intimately lives with rain. Poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree. Joyce Kilmer was only 31 when he was killed during a World War I battle. But I digress. On this episode of Burning Bright, 3 Passager poems that at least involve trees. First, a poem by the 2016 Passager poet, Maryhelen Snyder, that, like Kilmer, interweaves nature and a sense of the Creator. The Cutting Room Floor. I walk outside to meet the evening light that pours itself over my small piece of the world. I walk toward its throbbing center, there past the next hill. The igniting fire, the God who creates the world of separate things. I am one center, the sun the other. It is April, when green is attached to the sun by an uncut cord, when trees are fresh and wet as though from the womb. In the beginning, when God creates the world in 6 days, there is the briefest pauses between creation and naming. Between naming and seeing it as good. Or perhaps there is no pause at all. We discover we can run the film backward to its still point before the beginning, the naming, the division, so that the tree, nestled like a suckling against the evening sky, is born into its nameless self, again and again, invisible, the birds hidden in its branches, and the wind trembling in its leaves. And God is resting now, on the 7th day, here, on the cutting room floor. Maryhelen Snyder's poem, The Cutting Room Floor, from Passager, issue 61. Shirley Windward said that she regards poetry as one vehicle worthy of carrying to others the deeper messages of art and of life itself. Here's her poem, The Tamarisk Tree. The warm sand at the bottom of the canyon cups hip and shoulder, shifting me toward the river that chuckles 3 feet from my chin. Sweet wren song ripples down the shaft of air heralding dawn. Open-eyed now, I watch light seeping from the boulder my head rests upon. I see a single stem of long bark, a slender trunk no bigger than my wrist, taken root in the rock itself. I enter slow struggle, tendril by tendril, sensing the swelling of narrow fingers, feeling them thrusting half-inch by quarter-inch, spreading a web, thickening core, dissolving stone to centennial soil, lifting a final feathery green frond to its quota of breath at last, pointing upward, fierce and straight, becoming full partner to the rock. The Tamarisk Tree, Shirley Windward, from Passager's 2011 Poetry Contest issue. Sometimes trees are objects of beauty, sometimes they're functional, shade, fruit, that kind of thing, and sometimes they're just in the way of human progress. Here's Gilbert Arzola's poem, The Thinking Tree. They cut down her tree to let electricity pass, 4 feet from the line that divided what was mine from what was theirs. The tree intended no harm and made no argument. It played no part where to grow, where roots should spread. All of that was fate, and fate again that drew the saw, until there was no sign of where the tree had stood, or of the girl that had sat beneath it. The Thinking Tree, Gilbert Arzola, from his book Prayers of Little Consequence. We started this edition of Burning Bright talking about Joyce Kilmer and his poem Trees. The poem's been parodied many times, perhaps the most famous, this one by Ogden Nash. I think that I shall never see a billboard lovely as a tree. Indeed, unless the billboards fall, I'll never see a tree at all. As you're thinking about holiday presents for your loved ones and friends, we hope you'll also think about giving Passenger a holiday gift, a tax-deductible donation. To buy Gil Arzola's book, Prayers of Little Consequence, subscribe to, donate to, or learn more about Passenger and its commitment to writers over 50, go to PassegerBooks.com. Passenger offers a 25% discount on the journal issues featured here on Burning Bright. Visit our website to see what's on sale this week. The Passenger staff is taking the next couple weeks off to bake gingerbread boy and girl cookies, finish decorating our trees, dig last year's candle wax out of our Hanukkah menorahs, and enjoy the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025. But we'll be back in January with another year of Burning Bright. From Kendra, Mary, Christine, Roseanne, and the rest of the Passenger staff, happy holidays.